Well, we have curling royalty in our CTV Barrie studio today. Jennifer Jones has earned almost every accolade that there is in the sport. Two-time Olympian, a gold medalist, 6 national titles. Why don't we just go ahead and welcome you to the studio now, because I fear we'll run out of time if I continue. Jennifer, 6 national titles, 2 world championships. It's great to have you.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
And not only are you now living in Springwater, you're also here in Simcoe County to promote your new memoir, Rockstar: My Life on and Off the Ice. How are you doing? How does it feel to be off the ice?
It feels great to be off the ice. I wasn't sure how it was going to go. I had this love affair with curling where I just thought one day it would be, I don't want to practice anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. And that never happened to me. So it was this really kind of hard decision for me to step away. But you know what? I have not had one regret. I'm really enjoying my time away from curling and still being involved in the sport, which has really helped me.
Well, this is kind of fun. We managed to dig up some video from 1994. Let's talk about your career that spanned over 3 decades. You said that, you know, you felt like you were ready to hang up your broom by the end. But what was that like year after year? How do you feel that you grew and changed?
I definitely evolved. The sport definitely evolved. I feel very fortunate that I got to be a part of the evolution of women's curling. When we first started, women's curling was not on TV very much, and that we didn't get to play on the best ice conditions. There wasn't a big events for us to play on. It was one event every year, and now the sport has grown. The women's television numbers are on par with the men. Our prize purses are on par with the men. Everything has really evolved. So very grateful to be a part of that evolution. But I think for me, I started curling because I loved it, and I ended curling and I still loved it in the same way. I loved the smell of the ice. I loved the feeling it gave me. But I really, I was a shy, introverted person, and curling gave me a confidence that I never thought I'd ever have. So it really changed my life.
Let's talk about that. So you mentioned in your memoir that you had an aversion to the spotlight. I find that very hard to believe. I've watched you for years. I was mentioning to Jen way back in Ottawa when you were at the Briar was my first chance to really kind of take you in the flesh. How did you overcome this aversion?
You know, it was a lot of, I just loved curling. I wanted to be a part of a team, and then our coaches would say, your team needs you to be X, Y, and Z, and I never wanted to let my team down, and that was to be a leader, to be a little bit more extroverted, to really be that person they needed to be. So I felt like I became that person when I was curling. But it was an effort. It was hard for me, and I was the girl who never wanted to have a birthday party because I never wanted to be the center of attention, even when I was little. And then all of a sudden, you know, we're on national TV in front of millions of people, and I'm a motivational speaker. I talk to so many people. I broadcast now. So it really has been an evolution, but I think it really started with just really wanting to be there for my team and never wanting to let them down. And so I became the person that they needed me to be.
Well, and let's talk a little bit about the person that you are, or perhaps how you were portrayed. In the memoir, you mentioned that you felt like the media maybe portrayed you unfairly. And I have to say, in watching you play, you often have this sort of stoic disposition, but perhaps that's what it takes to win on that level.
I think for me it was I always say I want to be in the moment. So when I'm here with you, I want to be in the moment. When I'm with my family, I put my phone away. I want to be in the moment. And when I was curling, I was totally mesmerized with the moment. No matter what was happening in the crowd or anywhere else, I was just totally captivated. And I think so sometimes that comes across, and I was concentrating. So sometimes that comes across as you're very stoic, or you're just, and we're yelling like crazy people on TV. So the people think you're this certain way, but I'm probably one of the least competitive people you'll meet. You play a board game with me and I don't care if I win. And it was just when I was on the curling ice, I wanted to be my very best. I wanted to be my very best for myself and for my team. And for me to do that, it was full concentration.
Let's talk about being on the ice. I thought it was remarkable that you took the time to go to the Barrie Curling Club. Everyone was so thrilled. Why is that, you know, keeping that local connection, why is that important to you?
It's so important. Again, when I stepped away from curling, I really thought I'd miss the game the most, because the game is what really was just so a part of me. And I do miss the game. I miss that competitive feeling. But what I miss most is the feeling of connecting with fans and hearing their stories. And I never thought I'd make an impact in people's lives. And all of a sudden you'll talk and you'll hear their stories about how they were watching you with a loved one, or how that connection was. And I'm so grateful for that, because it was the fans that made my dream so much bigger than I could have ever imagined. And so when I go into the curling club and I see local people, or people that were curling fans, or people that are just general sports fans, and you can connect with them, it just brings back that gratitude for me. And so I feel like it's our responsibility to give back to the community because the community has given us so much.
Well, we have deep gratitude for you coming into the station today, and welcome back to Simcoe County.
Thank you very much.
We have been speaking with Canadian curling superstar Jennifer Jones. You can go to the CTV Barrie website if you'd like to revisit this conversation or read more about Jennifer's pretty impressive past. ctvnews.ca/Barrie.